And that's my address and how you can follow me on Twitter. Did I do something wrong? That's what this white file is. Yes. Okay, so we'll have 4 steps on how to improve. How many of your bloggers here? Okay, thank you. So this will be useful for you guys. And bloggers and developers both. Oh, that's a good crowd. So readability comes first because see, most of the blogs are mostly content, written content, and still they are delivered without any thought to how it looks or how well readable it is, or can you actually focus there? Is it easy on eyes or not? So typography comes with when you talk about readability, content, and typography are the first things that come in your mind. And I mean, unless and you got to repeat after me. Really, learn this formula. Do not use Arial. Do not use Helvetica. Some people will argue about Helvetica is the best one in the world. As a designer, I know that, but Helvetica is not meant for websites. Helvetica is very bad choice when it comes to web because Helvetica is a font which needs custom kerning, adjustment of letters spacing between them, and you can't do that on web very accurately. So, what should you use in? Let me give an example. This is, you know about Wired magazine? Wired.com. How many of you know that? Just 3 people. Okay, it's a very popular magazine, at least in US, and all the geeks read it and love it. This is one article from, the section of an article from Wired magazine. They are using Arial. And I'm going to try and show you how I improved this design just by changing a little bit of typography. So here I just changed the font from Arial to Lucida Grande. And then you can see suddenly the height increased. So larger height makes it easier to read on screens. And then next step of improvement is changing different color and adding line height. So line height is the distance between 2 lines, and you can change that by CSS, and that makes huge difference on how you read the article. Have you seen those texts that are counted to each other on news sites? And this one. And there you go. These are some standard formats to follow. You don't have to go research about it, but if you want to, there's that link, pursunify.com/typography. This guy created a thesis theme. He talks about golden ratios in typography, how to create good, readable, and beautiful typography. And here are some standards which you can follow. Keep your body font, your main content font size from 14 to 16 pixels. You can use 13 pixels in some cases, but that's another game to follow. 16 is the best, hard to handle, 14 is optimum, 15 is for some fonts, 15 works the best. Keep your line height between 1.5 em to 1.6. Now what em means is it's the multiple of em, the font size of the parent element. So when your font size is let's say set to 10 pixels, 1.5 em is equals to 15 pixels. And characters per line. Per line, like Twitter has 160 characters, you should not have more than 90 characters. 60 to 90 characters is optimum width of what you should do. How many do you have 21-inch or like more than 70-inch screens you work at? Have you seen a bigger screen? Try reading Wikipedia on it. It breaks your neck. It just spreads the whole full width and you can't actually read anything. I'm going to give you an example. I've taken one paragraph from typography article on Wikipedia. That's the original one on the top. Below I've changed the font from Arial to Lucida Grande. Next I added color and line height. And last step I shifted to optimum width. And you can see the difference between original and the converted one. Just few shifts can make it amazingly readable. It's easy on eyes. And I never use pure black. 000 for plain text, a big no. It's very, pure black text on pure white screen is very hard on eyes. You realize when you read some lighter colors, use 5x5, use 444, these are cool values to use. But never use pure black on pure white. So there's visible difference, you can see this. I would rather read that than above one. What are some good ones to use if not Arial and Helvetica? Here are some stats, you can just copy them as is and use it in your CSS. First one is slightly dangerous because Lucida Grande and Lucida Sans are not available on all computers, but now it's getting popular. Next is Verdana, you can't go wrong with it. 14 pixel to 16 pixel Verdana is amazing font, one of the best fonts that I've created. Next, these are sans serif. If you want to use a serif font with, you know what serif is? Yeah, so that it was like if it had two, bars over it, that's called serif. Georgia is one of the best. Droid Serif, another one. If you want to use global font, Open Sans, Droid Serif, these are all Ubuntu and Lago. These are very good fonts to use. And let's go to the next, layouts. What really matters. Now I'm going to show you something. Look at this blog. I took this from a random blog on internet. And look at the layout. It's showing date and who wrote it and something, how many comments. You can tweet, share, without, and blah 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 without reading the article. And I mean, do you really think somebody goes and tweets just from your homepage without reading the article? Do you really need to present all this, how many comments were there? Just people just blindly, because of themes, just blindly, whatever is there, they put it there. Have you really given a thought, what do you really want to present, what is relevant to your own articles? Let me give an example. You know about copyblogger.com? How many of you know about copyblogger.com? If you don't, please go check it out, it's amazing blog to read. This is copyblogger.com. This is what they show. An image, the title, who wrote it, and an excerpt. That's it. Their articles are timeless. 5 years ago what they wrote is still relevant. That's how good they write. So if, let's say, you're writing about technology, then data is relevant. If you're writing news, technology news, data is relevant. But if you're writing, let's say, an essay on philosophy, it's not, the data is not relevant. So why do you want to display data? Why do you want to display that information which is not relevant to the main article? So let's rethink, let's cut the crap. People show all kind of stuff. Have you seen the list of tags? Has anybody actually clicked there? Why is it there? Even Google isn't considered as good SEO anymore. So please kill them. It's high time. What you should really think again, homepage. By default, homepage is reverse chronological order of like the WordPress says, all the articles, the latest one comes first. But there's a new trend coming up. People are displaying latest and the most popular side by side, which makes more sense. So your homepage, the regular users do not visit, usually they subscribe to RSS or email. So why not showcase your best content out there? So that's something to think about. Sidebar, we'll come back to that later. And single article page, have you seen the amount of tweets button hovering around? If you want to tweet your article, you will find the button. You don't have to put in this space to make it like that. Seriously. Footer, this is another big one. People have business footer, let's put everything down there. Oh, I've seen people going down, I have space in footer, so let me find something to put there. Do you really need it? Just think once again, go to your blog once again, see every part of it, just think, can I do without it? And okay, let's come back to Sidebar later. So that's what I want to say, if you cut the crap, you look more professional, you'll get your message through, and you'll look different, which every blogger needs these days. There's so many platforms out there, you don't want to look different, just cut the crap. Here's a radical idea which I came up with a few months ago. Why not kill the sidebar? I mean, here's the content, right next to it is sidebar, so they're competing for attention. Which one is more important, your sidebar or the content? Now, there are arguments I want to say, stuff there, blah blah blah, but yeah, let's check this out. This is one of my friend's blog. Look at the size of sidebar. The friend knows that this blog is there, so anyways.
It's a personal blog.
Yeah, but it's an example. That's the sidebar, and that is the content.